The Miller, His Son, and the Donkey, an Aesop's fable. First, we go to the questions and read the questions. Monday, what is the main setting of the story? Who is the main character in the story? What might be another good title for this story? Determine the meaning of the word elders in the story. The Miller, His Son, and the Donkey. One day, a long time ago, an old miller and his son were on the way to market with a donkey, which they hoped to sell. They led the donkey by a rope very slowly, for they thought they would have a better chance to sell him if they kept him in a good condition. As they walked along the highway, some travelers laughed loudly at them. "What foolishness," cried one, "to walk when they have the means to ride. Perhaps the donkey has more brains in his head than they do." The miller did not like to be thought a fool, so he told his son to climb up and ride. They had gone a little farther along the road when 3 merchants passed by. "What disrespect!" cried one of the merchants. "Have you not heard that the young should honor the elders? Get down and let the old man ride." Though the miller was not tired, he made the boy get down and climbed up himself to ride, just to please the merchants. Around the next bend, they came upon some women carrying baskets of vegetables. What selfishness!" exclaimed one of the women as she pointed to the miller. "He sits perched on the donkey while the poor boy has to walk." The miller, not wanting to be thought ill of, told his son to climb up onto the donkey behind him. They had no sooner started out again than a loud shout went up from another company of people on the road. "What a crime," cried one, "to load up that poor animal like that. They look more able to carry the poor creature than he to carry them." "Certainly, they are on their way to the nearby market to sell the poor thing," said another. "They don't care about the animal, they're just the money. They'll be paid for him." The miller and his son quickly scrambled down and devised a plan. The miller, his son, and the donkey caused an uproar as they entered the market a short time later. Merchants and shoppers alike were astonished to see the miller and his son carrying the donkey, tied at its hooves from a pole. A great crowd gathered around them to get closer look at the strange sight. The donkey did not dislike being carried, but so many people came up to point at him and laugh and shout that he began to kick and bray. Then, just as they were crossing a bridge, the ropes that held him gave way, and down the donkey tumbled into the river. The poor miller now set out sadly for home. By trying to please everybody, he had pleased nobody, and had nothing to show for his efforts but empty pockets. I'm going to read you the questions from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Why were the miller and his son going to the market? What did the miller do to please the first travelers? What did the miller do to please the passing merchants? Why do you think the miller continued to change each time someone disagreed with what he was doing? Wednesday, why did the woman think the miller was being selfish? What did the miller do to please the passing woman? Based on the story, do you think the miller and his son care for the donkey's well-being? What evidence from the text above help you answer the question above? Thursday, determine the meaning of the word devised in the story. What is the lesson learned from the story? Which sentence best supports the theme? A, they don't care about the animal, just the money they will be paid for him. B, the donkey did not dislike being carried. C, by trying to please everybody, he had pleased nobody. If the miller and son did not listen to others, how might the story have ended? I'm gonna read you the questions, the quiz questions. Number 1, based on the story, what happened to the donkey? A, he was sold at the market. B, the miller and his son took him home. C, he fell in the river. D, he got scared from people laughing and pointing at him, so he ran away. 2, by trying to please everybody, he had pleased nobody and had nothing to show for his efforts but empty pockets. What can you infer about Miller learned from this story? A, he can't sell a donkey who fell in a river. B, pleasing everyone is always the best option. C, he shouldn't try to please everyone. D, he should have listened to his son's advice. 3, what character trait best described the miller? A, impressionable. B, stubborn. C, curious. D, lazy. 4, why were the miller, his son, and the donkey going to the market? A, to purchase food for their family. B, to purchase a donkey. C, to buy from the merchants they saw on the road. D, to sell the donkey. Number 5, which sentence best supports the theme? A, they don't care about the animal, just the money they will be paid for. B, the donkey did not dislike being carried. C, by trying to please everybody, he had pleased nobody. D, the miller had his son get on the donkey. Number 6, short response. One theme of the miller, his son, and the donkey is if you try to please everyone, you will end up pleasing no one. Write a paragraph that explains how the theme of the story is shown, the characters' actions, and their responses to events. Bonus question. Read the story The Miller, His Son, and the Donkey. The miller and his son quickly scrambled down and devised a plan, or a new plan. Was their plan successful? Support your opinion with evidence from the text.